All right, so this is a live stream test, seeing if my system is up and running at my home, and I could do this. I did another live stream test the other day on my phone, and it was working. It was just kind of random that I would check and see if it would work, because usually my prompt when I go to stream, it says you have too many community guideline strikes, and as of late, I go to my Creator Studio. And what do I think? I think I got to go to Video Manager, Channel Analytics, something like that. I think I got to go to Channel. Yeah, everything's healthy. It says I have 0 community guideline strikes, 0 community copyright strikes. So I'm back in action. We'll see how long this lasts. Most of my videos are demonetized, as you can see. Let's go here, Video Manager. Partner verified. I'm partner verified. Yeah, there it is. Demonetized, demonetized. Oops, you can't see that. Let me see. Demonetized, demonetized. These ones I can monetize if I wanted to. I almost find no purpose in even monetizing anything because you have to make $100 a month to get a check. I do need to make money from doing this. YouTube. I can't spend too much goddamn time doing it. I do have a day job and a life and family and kids to feed and stuff like that. Like most of the people in Talpiot talk. I always say Talpio because it just reminds me of a fine Pinot Grigio or something like that. Anyways, aged well, aged to perfection. But yeah, no sense in boring you people. The video that's gotten pretty good traction, even though a lot of people don't like it, but I'm glad. I don't want people to like this video. Well, like what it implies. It's this Richard Spencer video I did was that last week? Last week I did, and you know, it's very interesting because he's espousing these Bolshevistic principles, the who and whom principle. I don't talk in the video, so I can't go into depth of what it means, but he's out here trying to. I don't know if he got that from my previous video. I linked to it in the description. Let me see. Let's see if I can open it up directly. Let's see if this is actually working.
It's all about the greater good.
The greater good.
And you hold on. Let's see if the stream is working. Streaming, live streaming. Let's go there. See what's happening. Yeah, here it is. It's working. What's up? Charlie Brown, Handsome Truth is here. I am still trying to grasp what you are on. Yeah, a lot of people are trying to grasp what it is that I do. I think I can only be understood by my own terms, which is, I'm trying to redefine certain terms for people. A lot of times people are confused about the Jewish question or my position on the Jewish question. My position is a lot of these people that are Polish aren't Jewish. They converted to it as a religion. I don't think that Judaism is a race. I think it's a religion. And I think that anybody that's trying to push out that these people are a race actually gives them more credence and gives them more credibility. So it's a matter of a strategy not to call people Jews and treat that ideology as if it's a race, because then you set up the grounds to build on things like ethno-nationalism. You set the grounds to build on places like Israel by promoting those ideas. If you don't want Israel to exist, you can't let these people have ethno-nationalism as a basis for their ideology. And so I try to push that understanding to people. I'm like, if you think it's bad that Jews have an ethno state, you're only going to be a hypocrite if you support white nationalists like Richard Spencer. So I come at it from the understanding that hypocrisy is bad. You don't want to be caught up in this game being a damn hypocrite. You can't tell them that they can't have an ethno state, a racist apartheid ethno state on one hand, and on the other hand go out there and being a white nationalist. It doesn't make sense. So what I came to that conclusion logically. I'm like, oh shit. Logically, what they can do now is promote the idea to everybody. So that's what they're doing. They're promoting the idea of ethno-nationalism to everybody. And they have a word for it. It's called communitarianism. I've noticed Brendan O'Connell talking about communitarianism, but never really like tapping into what the hell it means. He's saying that, you know, it's this way that they can police us within the smart growth cities, and you know, it's sort of like a command communism mixed with capitalism. I'm like, yeah, but how are they getting people ready for that idea, ready to accept communitarianism? Well, they're getting people to identify with racial communities. Racial communities is how they push communitarianism. They get people thinking in terms of the greater good of the community via the racial lines that surround those communities already. And so that's the one aspect of it that I think Brendan O'Connell's leaving out in his analysis, which is fine. I don't see any fault in it. It's just he hasn't really delved that deep into it, because, you know, like a lot of people, that my contemporaries, the people on Top Yacht Talk, they focus on, you know, naming the names in these white collar criminals. That's great. I love that they name the names of the white collar criminals. I am more focused on like the philosophical side of what's happening. And, you know, I'm not trying to make, you know, myself stand out as distinct. I'm just trying to lay the lines, because a lot of people don't understand, because I don't talk, you know, on my videos about, they're trying to understand what my videos are even about, or what this channel's about. And so, yeah, I generally want to stop the idea of ethno nationalism. I'm an advocate, not contrarian. I'm not contrarian. I'm not standing up for civic nationalism just because I want to be against somebody who's popular. No, I literally think that was what we evolved to. We evolved to a civic nationalist state. I don't think that everybody has come up to that evolution of understanding why it's important. And so I feel like there are some regressives. There are regressive collectivists out there, leftists. There's leftists out there that are cultural Marxists, and there's leftists out there that call themselves alt-right. And so I want to push that understanding that collectivism is the left. Okay, think of yourself as a group identity, whether that group identity is black, white, Hispanic, Asian, LGBTQAnon. If you collectivize into one of these ideas, that is what we're standing up against. Collectivism is far leftist. It says there is no individual. It says that you fucking don't matter. Your ideas and your existence mean nothing. And so that blends into this idea of existentialism, where there's some greater subjectivity than you, yourself, and I existing in the world. Okay? And so those ideas then, you know, they work great if you're trying to set up a police state, if you're trying to militarize people, if you're trying to get guns and drugs off. Those ideas help out a lot. And so, you know, the powers that be, the people that we're focused on, you want to call them Zionists, go right ahead. Yeah, they are Zionists, but a lot of them aren't from Israel. They never been in Israel. And so, until, you know, 1948. And so I just got to, you know, establish some of that history and lay out that, yeah, these people, I don't think they were ever really there, to tell you the truth. I think these are, you know, offshoots from Turkey and from India and from, you know, eastern side of Europe and Asia. And then somewhere along the Silk Road, they taught themselves a form of Hebrew, which is Yiddish. And then that's what we call your modern day Jew as a race. And I think that they get their racial ideology not necessarily from the Judaism, but they get it from Aryanism and Hinduism. And, you know, these are, if you look at history, that's where they most likely practice these, you know, breeding practices and looking at humans as if they're, you know, certain breeds to be specialized and, you know, cordoned off into certain specialties. But hey, you know, to each their own. Everybody looks at history their own way, interprets history their own way. I just look at, you know, patterns and, you know, have pattern recognition. Let me read your chats. I see a lot of people. Hey, what's up? Oh, there's like 17 people up in here. What is going on? Handsome Truth is up in the house. What up, home guy? My brother from another mother in the Bay Area. Doesn't Israel DNA test nationalism of all colors? I wouldn't be, you know, too exactly sure of what Israel does as far as DNA testing. I do know that I did see CNN do a report on them kicking the Ethiopian Jews out like a couple of months ago. I meant to do a video on it, but I didn't get into it. Oh shit, you on 5. Let me read this. Crips against Jews is what's up, man. Crips against Jews, you're gonna have to prove to me that you're not the CIA, man. Ever since you sent me that satanic shit, bro, I've been questioning you and your motives, to tell you the truth. But anyways, it's all good. I don't mind. I'm out here just telling you exactly what I think. Doesn't let me see. Congrats. Yeah, I got it back. Charlie Brown. That's so funny. They DNA test. Well, yeah. The DNA test, and there's a lot of people that are, you know, willing to go and jump onto the DNA test and, you know, give somebody their blood and saliva, knowing what these people have done with CRISPR technology and gene splicing, being able to, you know, map out the human genome, which I actually ironically did a project on when I was in 6th grade. I did a project on the Human Genome Project because it was just barely getting finished up with compiling all the data that they needed to, you know, completely map it out. And yeah, they can use that to develop bioweapons. Alex Jones reported on it. He reported on it in I forgot, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and talked about how the first people to develop bioweapons that are genetically based was Israel and South Africa. And if we haven't been paying attention, if you've been under a rock for the last, you know, I guess 2 years or so, you'd notice there's a lot of turmoil going on in South Africa, and a lot of the white nationalists, this new Bolshevistic movement, they are concerned with, you know, saving the white people in South Africa. I would not be surprised if the 15-year-olds who are on YouTube right now getting their fill of, you know, the white race ideology go, you know, join the army in the next 3 years under Donald Trump or whatever, and decide to go take up arms, get sent into South Africa to save their white counterparts. I don't doubt that for 1 second. The military industrial complex specializes in creating drama to sell weapons and selling weapons. Okay, so a lot of, I think, what our television and movies is designed to do is make war happen, to make sure that we believe that the cause of war and turmoil and strife is there, you know, softwared into our psyche and our brain, that we feel like we need to go fight. Now, I think that doesn't mean that I don't think there's shit worth fighting for. I'm just saying a lot of the shit that people think is worth fighting for ain't worth anything to you, is worth something to these people that are gun manufacturers and, you know, technocrats and societal engineers. And so please, if somebody's offering you a gun or a cause to go hold a gun, other than for your own physical defense, then I would steer away from those people, okay? Because their greater good might not actually be the greater good of anything other than a corporation. So I just want people to understand that. What's up? What's up? Connection missing French. I don't understand what that means. I gotta read further. All crazy like Laura Lumatic. Oh, they are vicious racists against the non-white Jews. Beat them, harass them constantly. Brutal clips of the Ethiopians. Ultra-racial and religious supremacist cult. Yeah. Nothing is worth do wrong. Trust in God and follow the right path. Sure. Well, this is running. I actually got a pot of boiling water going, so I'm not going to be on here too long. I just wanted to, you know, jump out here and make sure that everything is working all right. And it's pretty smooth. So I wonder how many people are going to unsubscribe. I think when I started this live stream, I had 4,126 subscribers. So I wonder how many people are going to be like, holy shit, this channel is ran by a black dude. I'm out. I have a feeling that's going to happen. Because I haven't shown my face in a long time, and I've had, like, I don't know, maybe 1,000 subscribers join since I started doing this. Is that, look at no more news is on here. Adam Green, only shills can live stream. True that, man. Only shills can get paid super chats. I believe this wholly. But yeah, we're doing good work. We're trying to, you know, get out here and not get mowed over by like I said, our contemporaries. Brendan O'Connell is out there naming names, but they only seem to be names in the Talpiot crew. He calling out activist news Daniel Walker the other day, you know, for being just having the wrong tactics. I was just laughing. I was laughing at this stuff. Believe me, that won't be it. Just don't start merch with clothes. You know what? I originally was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna get people wearing my T-shirt with no race on it and like my silhouette of my forehead, like what's his name? Lift the veil, lift the yarmulke. I don't know, man. I haven't got into the Pizzagate stuff or anything like that ever, really. I'm one of these people that I do think that there's pedophiles, but like we've established that the name of the game is sexual blackmail. These people blackmail each other, and Donald Trump's he's blackmailable. He's obviously blackmailable. Now the LGBTQ anon people, they're not going to accept anything about Donald Trump, being connected to Jeffrey Epstein. So I'm trying to strategically, make sure that becomes the new narrative. We're out here in the production of narratives, people. That's what the name of the game is. Produce narratives. That's what the mainstream media does. Produce narratives that work on people's mind. I push Third Rome. I push communitarianism so people understand some of these certain concepts. And I think that more and more people should learn how to do like things. Brendan O'Connell's angle is, on the street activism. I'm more like, I don't know. In the digital age, like on the street activism's good. I'm proud of people that have the balls to go out there. But as far as leverage is concerned, it's more efficient just to be clever online and, do stuff online. Handsome Truth, man. I'm so glad he made a channel. Look at this guy. He's blowing up with, his use of the super chat mechanism in super chats. People know who he is because he's throwing out that cashola. And that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly the type of stuff you got to go do to get noticed. I've had people find me just because like I've super chatted and I've showed it how that works. Now I don't expect Brendan O'Connell, over here juggling, do I want to get a Thailand hooker or do I want to eat some chicken, to ever go out there and really promote Tapio Talk or Talpiot with his his limited funds that he be getting. And it's I hope that he has he gets to sustain himself. He deserves that. He's helped me understand a lot of like names and players. Like I didn't understand what the perestroika deception was before Brendan O'Connell. I had never heard of that. I think he even introduced me to like Kay Griggs. And once I saw Kay Griggs, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this woman is the basis or foundation for understanding what this is. And like I've been saying that our system is Roman. You go out to your local state legislature or anywhere where there's government buildings, there's Roman columns there. And what I get into is understanding that our system is completely Roman. Our law system is Roman. It's not Judaism law, it's Roman law. And these people that were the Jews existed within a culture and a society that was Roman in essence. And so I'm not saying that Jews aren't, huge players in what's happening, but I'm saying other aspects of what's happening, like Fabian socialism. Fabius is a Roman, Fabius Quintatus is a Roman legionnaire, and his strategies of terrorism helped get, Rome to establish itself against, what's his name? The Carthaginians. And so, we have to understand that they use Roman tactics all over the place. And, it's hard to get people to, grasp some of the other macro things that are going on if they don't understand, largely speaking, that, the system is Roman. It's a militarized system. And what would they be doing with a militarized system? Well, they develop caste. They developed, a social hierarchy. Now, over time, that social hierarchy became based around race and racial identities, but in a functional, setting, it's just the way to organize people into their certain duties and roles at birth. And, that fits into the Brave New World. That's, part of the strategy of developing a technocratic dictatorship, is making sure you have people controlled into their certain identities and their certain roles they're supposed to play at birth. And race is a great role to play. It automatically gets people thinking along certain lines. Like installing people with race is like installing people with, Windows 10 or, or Linux or something. People running the white race identity is like they're running Windows 10. people with Linux or people with a black identity are running Linux or some shit like that. You break it down like that. And so they're using different operating systems to that basically filter through the information that they're getting. I'm just throwing out random ass analogies. Hopefully they make sense. Racing off the cliff with a no race. Yeah. When people wake up, no race is meant to confuse you. I'm confusing the shit out of people. All roads lead to Rome. Yeah, I think I think I do confuse a shit ton of people. Like I said, I think on my own way, and so a lot of people won't understand me because I've made sense out of the world the way that makes sense to me. But you know, that could be dangerous. That could be dangerous going on the internet with your own sense of things and then having people jump onto your bandwagon, especially if you don't clarify. Like, I know this one guy, he follows me, and I think, like, I confuse the shit out of him. He's like, I don't know how to make sense out of the world. And I that's dangerous. That's dangerous to, you know, influence people on the internet. So I tell people, you know what? Listen to me, dissect what it is that I'm saying, but don't be a follower of me. I'm not a damn leader. I'm not a cult leader. You're your own leader. You got to be independent out here. You have to not go along to get along and be part of a group. Like I sit in the Talpiot crew, but you know, I'm an individual inside this group. We are cooperating together. We are interdependent. We're not dependent on each other for our existence or anything like that. I don't think so. But anyways, let me read what you guys are doing. Chicken or lady boy? Yeah, chicken or lady boy, man. That's his daily struggle. What am I gonna eat today? Some lady boy? Or some rotisserie? Oh, Brendan, man. Brendan going off the hinges. Are you familiar with Zoroaster the Magi? Yeah, the adoration of the Magi. And a lot of what I've learned by looking at like old art, I went to Germany. I put it in my last video. Picture of me staring at some mountain. It's actually a picture of me sitting in Austria on top of, like, right next to a castle, an old castle. So I went to Austria in 2006. The Magi. You see all these, you know, this iconography and all these photos and all these pictures of the three Magi. You know, these three men that go witness the birth of Jesus being born, right? And I don't take that literally. I take that as there was parts of European culture that was pagan, and it did have some roots in ancient Babylon or, you know, Persia. And so I started looking into that stuff, and I was like, hey, man, why did all of a sudden they stop at painting that black dude? And then you start getting into the Moorish history and the fact that there was Moors all over the Silk Road trade routes, and they were a lot of them in Lisbon, Spain, Portugal. And yeah, they got kicked the fuck out. They got kicked out of Britain. They got kicked out of Portugal. They got kicked out of Spain. There was a lot of propaganda going on and why they should even be there in the 1600s and 1500s. And then bam, you have the slave trade. You have the Columbian Exchange. You have basically the Silk Road, which we're going into again. So while a lot of times when I show pictures or videos of like the Moors, it's because you need to understand that everything that these people are setting up right now is something that they've already done. They've done it before. It's like they're just cycling through the same procedure. Propagandize people into believing in race, and then tell people that they need to go back to their homeland, create an exodus for people to go back to their home origin, and make people think in terms of ethno-states. So we got Wakanda pumping up the Wakanda idea. At the same time, you're promoting multiculturalism, so people have this idea in their head that, yeah, they should care about culture in a sense, and they use that as means culturally or psychologically to tell people, you know, what it is they should be involved in and who they are. People call them Illuminati. People call them whatever the hell it is they want to call them. I just think they're just people that want to control people and, you know, keep you out of their hair while they construct the world the way that is that they want to. You know, and it's the one thing that's weird to me is the fact that there's a lot of stuff that's coming out about these people on certain levels. You know, the fact that these people are pedophiles and whatnot. I wasn't expecting that to happen, but if you look at Rome again, yeah, the Romans eat their own top officials just to, you know, basically please the plebs in a way, give them bread and circus. So I feel like a lot of, the people, the heads that are turning up are part of the bread and circus. So people feel like, yeah, they are catching the bad guys. They are getting them. Trust the plan. Trust the plan. Anyways, so when you cover the Kalergi plan of the Jew Illuminati, I sort of got into the Kalergi plan, like, well, not really, actually. I tried to get into the idea of what he was involved with, which Jaleel actually helped me find out was about Le Cercle. He was involved with this group, Le Cercle, and I started getting into La Cagoule, it was like a French fascist movement, and these people, they were Jewish Germans, and they were promoting this idea of multiculturalism in Europe. And well, let me just go to the damn article that I'm talking about so I don't confuse you. Cagoule, it means the hood, the hooded ones. Cagoule. Ooh, who is this chick? I better not be seeing titties pop up on accident. Cagoule. This is a French word, so I'm probably just spelling it wrong. There it is, the hood. Yeah. La Cagoule. So this French fascist movement is what Cagliari was involved with. It was the cow. The press nicknamed them by Action Française, National Maurice Puho, officially Comité des Secret d'Action Revolutionary. And there's all these revolutionary movements that these people fund. A lot of them were fascists up in, just Europe. And like, these people get money. They get money and they get funding to do certain things. And so when I tell people about Richard Spencer, I'm telling you, that guy is getting funded heavily to go out and spread this message. That's basically Dugin's message of stirring up turmoil within the United States. They want that stuff to happen. They want somebody to go and punch him. They want, I think he would be happy dying for that cause. He doesn't have any kids, I don't think. And so, he's here to stir up shit and become a martyr for something. Just like Tommy Robinson, same sort of deal. There's certain levels that these people get martyred for. And so, yeah, I need to get into look at Cagliari, but I'm trying to get people to understand that the white is not a thing. That's called pan-Europeanism. When you think that white is a race and you think things should happen because of white people, that's called racialism, okay? And it's pan-Europeanism. If I start talking about black people, I'm talking about pan-Africanism, or black people all over the world. Well, I'm not black people all over the world. There's people that I work with that are dark as my freaking headphones. I'm not that. Okay? We're not the same color. Okay? We're not black. Not all people that classify as white are white. So this is just, like I said, psychological software hacking through your identity complex. So I don't believe that there is ever going to be such thing as white genocide, or the people in white genocide could even happen. I am not saying that I am for mass immigration of refugees. I need to make that freaking clear, because people are going to be like, you want all those refugees to come into my country and rape my wife, and all these rape gangs of these Muslims are coming in. I'm like, nah, I don't want any of that stuff. What I'm trying to tell you is they did that for a specific reason. And it's, if you understand that these people are for weapon sales and they're involved in creating police states where they can, command and control people, that's the whole reason. It has nothing to do with getting rid of white people. They don't care about that shit. Now, I have posted videos that contradict what it is that I'm saying, so I can understand why there's some confusion. I posted a video about the 7 root races from Manly P. Hall, where he talks about how we wanted to mix all the races together to create the 6th root race, which is going to be like what Caligari said, is going to be like Egyptians with psychic powers, and they're going to be, past the Aryans and stuff like that. So I don't know. I just put that out there because that's another explanation for why it is that what people are seeing is happening. Then you have people like Cagliari that give people another explanation or another scenario for why it is they see what it is they're happening. But I see Cagliari as more a military psyop than anything. That's what I see it as. It's how these people sell their causes, or like, you know, sort of what the Top Yacht Crew is getting after is, which is pushing people into this sort of fear, fight or flight mechanism in their brain and psychologically, where they, you know, have one or two choices they can make. Either we're going to fight with these Muslims, or we're going to go somewhere else, okay, or we're going to do something else. But nobody's really presenting or coming to the conclusion that, you know, or let's say, put it like this, no one's really getting to the root of the problem of, you know, war in general, and economic hitmen, you know, basically keeping second world or third world nations exactly where they're at. So in that sense, yeah, people are going to automatically, they want to get out of, you know, bad situations. Anybody would want to get out of a bad situation. Not everybody's an economic migrant, but if they are economic migrants, it's probably because they have a shitty ass deal living in their second world country. And so I think the white nationalists take it as, oh, they just want to come to us because we're white and we created all these great things. I'm like, well, do you blame them? Here you guys are promoting how great you are. Here these people are saying, yeah, that does look pretty good. It looks better than the shit I have. Instead of duplicating it here, which, well, you know, would seem out of hand for people. They're like, I'm gonna get out of this situation. So psychologically, I understand why people do what it is they're doing. In terms of like the Illuminati or the controllers at hand, why it is they're doing what they're doing, you can come to any conclusion you want to. It's ultimately going to be speculation until you come across certain things, like certain information like Kagiri or Manly P. Hall. And so, yeah, I don't know why it's happening. I could you know, go either one of those ways, but tell you the truth, that's it. It's up in the air. The point is, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go fight some Muslim that's coming into your country? Are you just gonna sit back and allow, you know, immigration or something to happen? And that's what it comes down to. It comes down to action. What are people gonna do to solve whatever the hell it is that they think is a problem in their life or in their social stratosphere? To me, I want to get after white collar criminals. You know, I even heard Chris Dorsey one time. He was like, I think it was Ryan Dawson. I was asking, yeah, it was right, the Ryan Dawson interview. He asked Chris Dorsey, like, who do you think commits the most crime in this country? And Chris Dorsey's like, black people. You know? And Ryan Dawson's like, no, it's men. And then I was like, oh shit, man. He immediately is, I could tell he's not thinking in terms of gender. He wasn't thinking in terms of anything other than race. Because right now, in the current climate on the internet, people think in terms of race. They're taught to. They don't understand that that's what's popular. They know that, hey, if I make a video about race, I might get, you know, good super chats from people that also care about the racial issue. And so, you know, I knew that I was cutting myself off from a lot of money by promoting this idea of no race, but I felt impaired to, you know, take the neutral ground, or the ground of judo, where it's like, hey, I'll take in all these questions and, you know, apply myself the best way I can to, you know, this situation, and get people to think about it openly and think about what they actually see happening the best way I can. And I knew that I couldn't do that if I was, like, you know, out here wearing a goddamn Wakanda Black Panther suit every day. It wasn't going to happen. I wasn't going to get any white nationalists to listen to, you know, some of this history if I started off with promoting Yaqub and the idea that there's black Hebrew Israelites out in the streets. I look at a lot of that information. I look at a lot of what the black nationalists talk about, and the Hebrew Israelites, and where they're getting their you know, standpoint from. Do I necessarily agree with it all? I'm looking into the history. I do think that something happened where you have a split between basically Western Rome, which included a lot of North Africa, and Eastern Rome, which, you know, was what we call like the Slavic nations and stuff. And I do think that, yeah, there is a possibility that there was some stolen identities that happened during that, because I think it was, who was I reading? Antiochus, I believe, was one of the Roman emperors that he made it a decree. I'm not exactly sure. I got to go do this research that I did like in 2014. But he said that, yeah, there's certain people that once they conquered a people, they would steal their identity. They would assume the identity of the people they had conquered. And then, so, you know, I don't know. History's weird because you got to remember that not everybody is literate, 100 years ago. So a lot of times when we're reading history, we're reading history of historians, and the historians are the historians of victors. And the victors, if they have practices like stealing people's identity, then you could understand that, like, how we can get situations where you have people calling themselves Jews who are not Jews. Anyways, that was a long ass rant, but I'm just trying to make sense of the things that people are saying out there the best way I can. What is up? Dante, you stand for individuals. All day I stand for the individual and individual rights. Because I've said this before, but I try to make certain things into certain talking points. You don't want to get prosecuted as a group. You don't want to get prosecuted as a group. You don't want to be like walking down the street and have somebody say, hey, you look like that guy, or you look like these type of people. Come with we. You're going to the cage. That's not a good system. That's not a good system to be in. If you haven't committed a crime, then why the hell should you go into a cage somewhere? You have a crime of being a certain color, or looking a certain way, or wearing a certain thing. That's not American. That's not what our system. That's not what the system was evolved to be. But to this day, I have people that'll they see me walking down the street, they'll cross the street. They're like, oh shit, here comes a black guy. He's buff. He looks dangerous, and so they walk across the street. And I understand that. It's because of stereotypes. I get it. I'm not gonna do anything to you. It doesn't mean that I can't be angry or punch somebody the fuck out if I need to. I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to hurt you if you haven't done anything to me. What the hell would I have? Why would I, come after you? But I see people, like old ladies clutching their purse. I'm not going to fuck with that guy. And, I get it. I freaking get it. You don't want to, you've seen the movies. You've seen the Tupacs. You've seen the 50 Cents. You don't want to, get shot at. And I don't have a gun, so I'm not going to shoot you, but I'm just, I get it. So I stand for the individual. If the individual hasn't done a crime, he shouldn't be guilty by a court of public opinion. And that's another thing with this communitarianism thing, is they want everybody to be guilty by court of public opinion. So for instance, like the community guidelines strikes that got basically Alex Jones pulled off all media, social media. That's communitarian law. That's, hey, the community doesn't like you. The community overall thinks you're bad for the community. Well, the community gets to ostracize you and kick you out. Okay. Now there's some certain levels of where that's operating, but that's like some of the foundations of, communitarian ideology and thinking, is, hey, I don't like this guy and what he stands for. He said some bad things about Sandy Hook families, which have only one family we can identify, some guy named Posner. And so therefore, we need to kick this guy out. And I don't like Alex Jones. I used to listen to Alex Jones 4 hours a day, every day for his show from about 2005, 2003 is when I got introduced to him. 2004, I was listening to him off and on. 2005, I was like, I'm with Alex Jones every day, all day. I got InfoWars stickers. I got fluoride-free toothpaste, man. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't even have that yet. But I bought his DVDs. I got his DVDs over here. I was an Alex Jones supporter. I bought the Obama t-shirt when Obama Deception came out. I was out handing flyers when he wanted to do that stuff. Okay? Because if you listen to like him, yeah, he becomes a cult for a lot of people. And I just know that there are certain things that he didn't talk about. Like I knew he didn't talk about Israel. And anyways, I forgot what the hell I was even going with this. I got off on a damn tangent. Mixing a good message. Shaba A over here. He's always like giving me hella shit on Twitter. What's up, man? Limited hangout Tapio. Protect your message. He doesn't like me associating with the Tapiot crew because he thinks that I'm something else, I guess. They're good. They're doing great work. I'm happy with the Tapiot crew, man. They're pushing heavy information. This should be important, but I put it into a context. Like the information needs to be directed at Trump supporters that are still duped into believing that Trump is not a globalist. Okay? That's the whole issue. is we need to get the Trump supporters who think he's an actual nationalist. I don't know what type of nationalist, you know, he is. I think like he's a blank slate. He's tabula rasa for a lot of people. So they project onto them all their wishes and desires. Like QAnon, they just project, oh, you're gonna solve all my problems. You're gonna solve all my issues. And so they're doing that with Donald Trump. So I know why they do that. They project the idea that he's anti-globalist because they feel that Hillary Clinton was a globalist. Well, the point is to show that yes, through the Belt and Road Initiative, he is a globalist. He is selling the United States out to China. They've been planning on doing this for a long time. They've been planning on using him to do it for a long time. Before Hillary Clinton was even deciding to run for office, they've been planning on using a man like Trump. Why? I don't know. Maybe his astrology. Maybe he is from the fucking future or some shit. He came back in a time machine and a fucking ball and he just ripped that stuff off. I don't know, man. I don't know where or why or when, or not. I do know why, but I don't know, where or when they decided to put Donald Trump in. But why is he sells the message, he sells the plan the best. He sells all the plans. Just the whole entire confusion, the double think, the double speak, the 1984 whole mindset of which way is up. I don't know because the earth is flat. He sells all that. He's perfect for confusing, people into not knowing which way is, where to go. Chaos magic. Donald Trump's perfect for chaos magic to ensue. And so out of the chaos comes an order. And I've just been trying to tell people that, hey, who stands to benefit from the order the most? Who cares about order? Well, I'll tell you, it's them orthodoxies over there in Europe and Eastern Europe and in China. They care about order, a specific type of order, an order where they have a subservient class of people who keep their heads down and don't fucking look up because they don't want to be the nail that gets hammered the freak down. Okay? See, and so at the meantime, what are they doing? They're, creating revolutionary parties on both sides of the aisle, and they fight each other. And then, the people that I guess, want to have the coolest weapons are gonna get them. They're gonna get them, and they're gonna be provided to you by people, manufacturers in Israel, in China, and I guess you could probably get the cheap ripoffs in China, and so. When those billions of Chinese come at you, you can kill some of them because their guns are going to malfunction. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to preach doom and gloom and stuff like some people do. But they wrote about it. I kind of been following the whole Albert Pike line for a while, and I can't. I've heard of the Taxil hoax. John Swin told me about the Taxil hoax. And so he says that basically the whole Albert Pike prediction is, or letter to Giuseppe Manzini, it was a fraud. Even though it was in British museums, it's a fraud. I don't know. They pulled it out. So I think the pulling out of the document is more suspicious than the actual placement of it in a museum. But who knows? They called out Zionism. They called out the Nazis. And so... yeah, Giuseppe Manzini talking about, I did that, my last video was about Giuseppe Manzini, promoting the idea of racial collectivism as a means to, repopulate Europe in a certain configuration. And you see that happening. So I feel like, hey, they're just going along with their plans from a long ass time ago. A lot of people are just duped into thinking they came up with these ideas on their own. You didn't come up with the idea of ethno-nationalism on your own. Jared Taylor didn't come up with that. Jared Taylor, I found an old interview of him and Cenk Uygur, and he was talking about how he did go to Yale. So I remember Nick Spiro, because Holly Siegler, she told me that Jared Taylor went to Yale, and I was like, oh really? And then Nick Spiro was like, no, he didn't go to Yale. Well, he admittedly went to Yale, so skull and bones right there for your you white nationalists out there who think Jared Taylor is the next coming of Jesus Christ, Jesus trifling. Anyways, what's going on? I know, I'm sure I will fall for your personality too. You seem like you got a lot on your mind. Yeah, it's been a damn while. Rest in peace, Nick Spiro, man. Rest in peace. I never knew the guy. He was like in my comment section. I didn't even know who he was or that he had a radio show or anything. And so I was like, okay, he's just some another dude. And I never listened to Renegade Broadcasting, but then people put me onto some of his work, and I was like, oh yeah, especially when he started talking to Lark about communitarianism. I thought that episode was fantastic. I don't know what's happened with Lark from Texas. But I don't want to be the only voice out here talking about communitarianism. Nikki Rapana went out in the freaking forest somewhere, and she's living off in a tent city somewhere. And so, her clear understanding of what communitarianism is needs to be looked further into. Me, I take it from the statements of Amitai Etzioni himself, saying that we want, to keep certain cultures separated, basically segregation, and, this idea of ethno-pluralism. I feel like that's just ethno-nationalism in a sense, and so I put in one of my videos, Amitai Etzioni, talking about how we needed the ethno-nationalists and we needed the white nationalists to promote these certain ideas. And I should probably show these damn videos but I gotta get going since I'm just rambling. I'm rambling off the top of my head. You can go fact check me if you want to. Maybe I'll include links, but yeah. He's a Zionist. He was born in Germany, raised in a kibbutz in Israel, and here he is promoting this ideology called communitarianism, whilst at the same time promoting the idea that we need to have ethno-pluralism. So I think he only has about 800 or maybe 500 subscribers, but I guarantee you that his subscribers, the people that subscribe to Amitai Etzioni other than me, are heads of industry, heads of geopolitics, NGOs, and government heads that listen to these people. Just like Carol Quigley, the only people that bought Carol Quigley's books were government officials. Same with more people started buying Zbigniew Brzezinski's books once they Alex Jones started talking about him. But yeah, these people, they talk to themselves, they write books for themselves, they publish books to themselves. They didn't expect the plebs who are, consumed in, what makeup they should wear to ever read what it is that they say. And so when they do get famous, I think it's bad for them. But, I don't think they care if people know what it is they talk about, because they're going to set up their system regardless. And so in that sense, like, do I think General Mattis is going to save us? Oh, shit, Brendan O'Connell, man. He's like, don't give up hope, man. Trust the plan. General Mattis has got us. He has been, I don't know, his body language has been speaking against Netanyahu and Trump. I don't know. I don't see that body language, man. I don't see that 80-year-old dude threatening anybody with his body language. But, yes, he has been, voicing some concern. But do I think that a military coup over Donald Trump is going to save the American Constitution? I think that's a damn stretch. Hopefully there's, some people like General Mattis that swear an oath, but coming from the same organization of people who think that, waterboarding and torture is, viable means of obtaining information from people. I don't know. I doubt that, we're going to get anything good from a person like Mattis. Let me read your comments. It's going on. Dorsey was on Renegade too? Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I couldn't listen to Dorsey, Jaleel. I really couldn't listen to him, man. This is like, I don't know. He's just saying the same thing over and over again. I've heard what he said. I've heard all Bob Bowman's tracks. Bob Bowman used to come on Alex Jones all the time. So where he got his information from was he was probably listening to Alex Jones too. Until, he figured out, Alex Jones was a shill, probably from a YouTube video in 2005. Like most people did. Or most Bill Cooper followers found out Alex Jones was a shill because Bill Cooper called him out. And so, yeah. And then, just the obvious glaring stuff about, avoiding Israel. But even a lot of people that listen to him nowadays, they know that he doesn't talk about Israel, but they'll still listen to him and they'll still support him because they don't know who else the hell to support. They can't find the other voices out here. The algorithms don't make them populate their YouTube feed. And so, you know, now that he's gone, I mean, now that he's sort of out of the way, sort of on YouTube, where do you think people are going to go? That's the question. Who are they going to find next? Who's going to be the next in line? I think really he's going to come back in a couple of weeks or so, and there might be enough public outcry to like reinstate his channel and his videos. But I think it's going to be limited its supply. They're not going to, you know, put the full 8 years of material he had out there back on the internet, which is unfortunate because there's a lot of good information, you know, at least a lot of poignant information and necessary information to have that's not there anymore. And so, like his videos, like in game, the stuff I need the stuff. Like I have saved some clips where he was getting messages from the Kremlin, like where he, you know, where he used to talk about how he was getting information from the Kremlin directly. I have videos of that saved on my computer. I probably shouldn't be saying that because now I'm gonna have my computer fucked with. But yeah, I have those videos. There's a lot of stuff. I have shit from 2005 recordings that I have on DVD where I used to make data disc DVDs of Alex Jones. So I feel like somebody's gonna put that stuff back out there. But you know, yeah, the old stuff of Alex Jones, that stuff needs to be saved because, I mean, shit, who knows what's going to happen to the internet, you know, coming up? Who knows what you're going to be able to even search for in the next year? It is already like, you know, I think they use the leftists as an excuse for, you know, all these data mining operations or these getting rid or data scrubbing operations that they're doing, but I think it's not the leftists. It's, you know, it's the military industrial complex. They need to, you know, scrub the history. They want people to think in a certain type of way. And so it's going to come down to people being internet historians. Literally, this is the time and day and age in the cycle of the Phoenix where there is time for the internet historian, for people to compile and save data. You save it for your own keeping. Don't expect the internet to save information for you. You better go get some disks or some flash drives, whatever the hell it is you need to do. Even an old computer that could read those flash drives and keep some old software saved on it that's not going to get updated and, you know, basically nullify anything that you have, and keep that in storage because history will change. They'll just update a Wikipedia article and then it'll say one thing one day and then it won't say that the next. For instance, I put out a video the other day and I thought this was pretty damn amazing. Yeah, good thing I have it saved right here. Of Bill Cooper, and it was the White Brotherhood video that I just did. So let me go to it and let's play this.
Thank you very much, Maybrit.
Folks, tonight's program is based upon a report by the Executive Intelligence Review, a special report by the editors of the Executive Intelligence Review. This report was first published in 1992, entitled The Ugly Truth About the ADL.
Okay, so he's about to start talking about what this report's about, and the fact that it's not against Jews per se. It's against, you know, the Illuminati, basically. But I have the transcript of what he is that he's saying right here. So I'm going to play this in the background. I'm going to show you the part in the transcript that I'm talking about. Because it's missing. This is from his website, thehouroftheTime.com. So whoever archived the transcript of his radio program decidedly left this out. Left this out from the program. So let's play it in the background.
It has taken Kaji this long to duplicate the research and verify that every single fact in here is absolutely 100% correct and true. The fact that none of the people, nor the ADL, has ever sued the Executive Intelligence Review over this information further substantiates the value and the truthfulness of this report. This is not an anti-Semitic report. It is an anti-ADL, anti-secret society, B'nai B'rith, controlled by the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, a racist organization promoting the concept of the British Israelism concept, the Anglo-Aryan race.
Okay, so there's no British Israelism concept in this transcript. I was on the wrong page. So I'm going to show you that people are scrubbing his transcript. They don't want it out there that he said that this was British Israelism that's promoting the concept of the Anglo-Aryan race. They don't want people knowing that's what he said. That's what he said. But the transcript doesn't say that. Let's see. Let me rewind that to show you, because I think I was on the wrong.
Anti-secret society.
ATL, Anti-Secret Society. Anti-Semitic. I'm trying to find it. Oh my God. What program is it's like, since the video that clip came from is 6 hours long. He did it over about I think a week worth of talking. He because his show was just like an hour long or 2 hours long. So he would break his programs and his subject matter up into days and separate broadcasts, I guess. And I think it was on the third day of the broadcast on this subject of the ADL. And he always made sure to say that I'm not against Jews. I'm not against, Semitic people. He even made a distinction saying, hey, these people, a lot of people that are Semitic, because Semitic is an Afro-Asiatic language, are Arabs. They call themselves Muslims. There's Muslims, Semitic people. And people don't even understand that. There's Muslim Semitics. Okay? Because they speak the Semitic language. But then there's different types of Semitic language groups, okay? And I don't think that I think Yiddish is a version of one Semitic language group, but I don't think it's originally Semitic. I think it's part of them being on the Silk Road, having to translate and learn certain languages. I even read somewhere that Yiddish was, it's like a secret language that they used on these trade routes. So I gotta go back into that video. There's no racism here. Yeah, he was always say I'm not. He say racist with the sh shist. It's so funny how he said racist. But anyways, the ADL, Anti-Defamation League. Let's go down into this. Where is it? Because I'm not gonna find the quote that I'm looking for because they deleted it. But I'm trying to find the part that they deleted and show you how they deleted it. I took a picture of it on my phone. I should probably just show that. I put it on Twitter. Damn, he says anti-defamation. He says it like hella times. Now this is getting boring. Because I'm over here looking to show you something and I can't even find it. I should have had that prepared. But anyways, point is, they're scrubbing information, people. They're getting rid of our information. They're getting rid of the facts. They have all types of alternative facts for people to adhere to. And I don't like statistics. I don't quote statistics. I mean, they work for people, but my thing is philosophy. My thing is underlying principles. I don't use statistics or numbers to justify anything, because that's all they do. Statistics justify your preconceived notions about stuff, or they break things into certain categories that give you positions based on categorical representations. I'm not saying there aren't categories that exist, but I don't want people using statistics and categories to make generalizations about what it is that I am as an individual. So statistics groupings are anti-individual. That's why I don't quote statistics. I don't talk about statistics. I don't use them to make a justification for any sort of claims that I'm making. No, I talk about history and what people say and what they talked about, and you know, how these people feel and the psychology behind it. But no, I don't do statistics. So don't look for me to be out here telling you how many black people shot, how many white people today, or how many white people were killed by black people this year. That's not what I'm going to be doing on my channel ever. Okay, so if you want statistics, you go somewhere else. But anyways, yeah, that was just boring. I think I gotta go. Anyways, Michael Aquino, yeah, oh yeah, Truth and Doubt. If you guys don't listen to somebody very interesting to listen to, I don't agree with a lot of his positions on like gay marriage or anything, but what's his name? What's his name? Goddamn, Douglas Dietrich. Douglas Dietrich is a crazy dude. He only has like 1,000 followers, but he thinks he's like a computer program, and maybe he is, because he's fucking crazy. But he's a product of military fuckery. Let's just put it that way. Michael Aquino, I don't know. Douglas Dietrich's been messed with, man. I like the guy, but he has great information. He has extensive knowledge on a lot of subjects. He's very well read. I think he's too busy on Facebook, to tell you the truth. I think he expects a lot from Facebook, and he needs to get off the Facebook, the Fedbook program. But he's out there. Go give that man some support. Truth and Doubt. Yeah, he's a good person to listen to get their analysis from, just from a different angle, because there's so many people that just repeat everybody else's talking points on the internet, and I need a breakup. I need there's so much monotony and so many people saying the same old things that they hear other people that they like saying, and no one's really that original. So yeah, Douglas Dietrich, yeah, go listen to him. He has a lot of information. He thinks that Michael Aquino, the Satanist, the admitted Satanist, the Temple of Set out here in San Francisco. I actually know somebody that their family went to that temple and was like, hell no, I'm not having anything to do with Michael Aquino and this faction of child raping murderers. But yeah, listen to him. If you're interested in Pedogate, go listen to Douglas Dietrich, because he treats it like it's real. But there's some stuff that he gets into that I'm like, all right, man, I don't know if he has diehard fans that are gonna just whatever. Everything he says is true, but I don't want anybody to be like that with anybody. Nobody is, infallible at all. There's people that'll get stuff wrong because they source stuff wrong. Everybody out here can only do their best and with the information they got. But yeah, like I said before, develop your own narrative. Develop your own narrative. Don't just adopt somebody else's just because you want to. Anyways, I gotta go. Peace out. Thank you. Live streaming is back. I don't know how often I'm going to do this. Mainly, it's not my focus. I don't have too much time. School's starting, so yeah, indoctrination camp awaits. But peace out. Thank you again. Bye.